Hello. Oh, it looks like maybe somebody's already here. Let me go see. Oh no, that's just me. I'm here. I'll just play a tune until anybody shows up. Looks like somebody else is here, but I can't see who you are. So I'll just trust that 2 means that there's somebody else there. Hi. If you have any questions, put them in the chat or the question Q&A section, and I will answer them. And until I see that something's going on there, I will maybe just keep playing some tunes. I've been really into Don Messer tunes recently, and that's one called Buckwheat Batter. Oh, I also wanted to change this camera angle just a bit so you can see my bow hand better. That was called Buckwheat Batter, and then there's another one I've been really liking, another jig called the, I think it's called the Old Red Barn. Michelle's here. Hi, Michelle. I'm just gonna switch over my tabs here. I don't know if you were there briefly before and just came on, or if that was somebody else just kind of checking things out and then disappearing. But I'm happy to see you. And if you have any questions, you can address those, or if you want me to play more tunes, I can do that. If you have anything you've been working on since we missed our lesson, we can talk about that, because there's nobody else here right now, so we can do whatever we want. We should just be mindful of the fact that other people will be able to watch it later, for what that's worth. And I don't think there's any way that I can, like, see you. I can only see what you write in the chat. But I'm there now, so if you have anything that you want to say, go ahead and do it. I think, let's see, maybe in the meantime, I will keep playing another tune. Oh, look, there's something. Oh, signing in with Patreon. Yes, this is a whole new world for all of us doing it. So I'm glad you got it sorted out. Is there anything that you're wondering, or should I play a tune, or what would work for you since you're here? And is my voice okay? I'm in this empty room in my house, and so I feel very echoey, but I'm hoping it's coming through, not just this mumble, 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 mumble. Well, not hearing any response from you yet. I know it takes some time to type, so I'll start playing another tune so I'm not just sitting here looking at the screen being boring. This is yet another Donner tune, Christmas Jig, and also known as Belle's Favorite is the name I first learned it from. And I'm just saying here, how about some discussion? Bowing patterns and their tunes, exercises, and practicing. Yeah, great. Maybe maybe I'll play this tune and then look at that, look at some stuff for jigs, if that works for you, and we can also look at some other types of tunes. But jigs are fun, and I have lots of things to say about bowing. I'll try to say them all. So here's one tune. This is Christmas Jig by Don Mazur, also known as Belle's Favorite. So, general bowing principles for me, and I think for other fiddle players, the biggest thing that I do is I try to make certain notes louder than others. Often when I'm starting out, or when people are starting out, the downbeats are good ones to accentuate. Also, I often will end up accentuating some offbeats and sometimes some different kind of syncopated patterns, both in jigs and in reels, especially in reels maybe. And sometimes I'm accenting with a down bow, which is easier, and sometimes I'm emphasizing an up bow, which has a slightly different sound. All of that said, the other thing I am often doing is sometimes I'm slurring notes together on a single bow if they sound good to me slurred together, or if it helps to recover distance after taking a big accented bow. So let's look at a bunch of kind of practical applications of those things. One thing that I realized recently in the last year or so is how important the amount of bow that you use is for achieving certain bowing. That, you know, for example, if you're following written bowing and it says, okay, there's one note, you know, 1/8 note on the down bow and, you know, 3/8 notes on an up bow slur, you better make that down bow big so you have space to put 3 more notes on it. And that's a very common pattern I'll use in reels fairly often, is a big long down bow for often the offbeat that I want to accent, but sometimes also the beat, particularly at the start of a phrase. And then using up bow just to get back up so I can get the next offbeat on a nice strong down bow. That's kind of like maybe my simplest reel going B-sides back and forth. But even with back and forth, you know, you're going to have to fudge around a little bit because you want one of them to be stronger, and then sometimes you end up doing kind of like a strong in like a reel where you have like straight 1/8 notes. You might have to do the first one strong and then somehow get your bow back to where you started. And I'm having an interesting time actually trying to do that and seeing where I might put the accent. So that's one option, would be to do like a down, up, down, smaller, and then last up, bigger again. So like a big, little, big, little. That accents the first and the last of the 4. You could do the 2 down, no, you can't do the 2 down bows. That's the other problem, is if you do accent only down bows, you get up to the tip of your bow and you're running out of space. So you have to figure out how to recover bow on an up bow. That sounds kind of weird. What I do a lot in reels is this interesting pattern over a measure. The course of a measure, I'll play, I'll accent the 1st, the 4th, and the 7th. So I think of it as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, with the 1s all being strong. And I actually really want to do a lesson on this. I've got a couple in the lineup, but I'm thinking the next one I might record might be about this rhythm, which I use a lot, particularly in certain kinds of tunes. I use a lot in Quebec sort of tunes. And that bowing just on the A string sounds like this. And so I'm doing a stronger down bow, 2 up bows sort of in place, a strong up bow, a down and up in place, which is what I should have said before. Sorry, I'll start again. Down, big, up, down, sort of in place. Up, big, down, up, sort of in place, and then 2 more even bows to finish. So long, short, short, long, short, short, even, long, short, short, long, short, short, even. And I'm also accenting by putting a little crunch at the beginning of the accented bows. And so that's a pattern that I can maintain and keep all in the same part of the bow. I'm not getting stuck at the tip or stuck up at the frog, which happens sometimes too. And so to put that into a tune, one of the ones I've been teaching that pattern in recently is Real Saint Antoine, which goes. So that first phrase of the tune has sort of a special bowing. It is sort of the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, but it's got a little skipped note in it. So the other phrase I've been using sometimes with students, which for some people makes it easier instead of counting, is kangaroo, kangaroo, kitty. And the cuss sounds are the ones that you are accenting, which is helpful because the bow kind of makes like a cuss sound. So kangaroo, kangaroo, kitty. And so the first phrase is more like, what I figured this out before. Kangaroo, kangaroo, kitty. Kangaroo, kangaroo, kitty. And you skip the g of kangaroo the second time. And you also kind of do an air down bow. So you end up playing up 2 notes in a row with kind of a space in between. And that's a very distinct Quebec bow. And then we'll talk about this other one. So that, and I'll move my bow up again. So how this keeps, I feel like it keeps getting higher without me doing anything. There, now the top of my head's cut off and you can see my bow. So doing like, and sometimes I even actually, on that goes down bow, hit a note. Just very quietly. And then where the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, or the kangaroo, kangaroo, kitty really comes out is in the next couple of phrases of the tune. So it's just a scale up and down, and that's a great way to practice this emphasis. This is maybe not totally what you're asking in terms of bowing patterns, which to me maybe suggests more slurring, but it's a very much related topic, and I will talk about slurs, don't worry. But this is a fun thing to practice for the emphasis, which is really what the slurring is all about, is to like develop phrasing. That's the reason you do certain bowing. It's the reason people choose a down bow or an up bow or a slur in a particular place, is to get a particular sound and shape the phrase and give it a start and say, okay, here's where the phrase is ending. Here's the next phrase. So it's, if you're kangaroo, kangaroo, kittying, kangaroo, kangaroo, kitty, kangaroo, kangaroo, kitty. And what really helps is not saying kangaroo, kangaroo, kitty, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, but getting so you can hear, and sometimes just knowing by rote at first which notes are the accented ones. So the first one, the E, and the C, G sharp, C sharp, F sharp. So this whole tune has this kind of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 feel until the ending, which doesn't lend itself to that feel. And so then I would switch and play more of an even ending. So I'll play the A part, and the same ideas kind of fall into the B part. So the ending is very much beat, offbeat beat, ba, 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 instead of ba, 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 ba. And that contrast is what gets me really excited about fiddle playing. And I think this is a kind of human tendency, is that we don't necessarily like things to be static. We like things to change. And so if we've been hearing this kind of yep, ba, 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 it kind of not only like ends the phrase of the, you know, the full part for the dancers, and it's like, okay, we're moving on to something totally different here, that's for sure. But it also just gives interest to the whole thing for somebody listening, because if you were, you know, the coolest rhythm that you can come up with, if you just do it again and again and again, becomes significantly less cool. But if you have a repertoire of a few different things and you're mixing it up, that can be really nice. I'm trying to think if there are other rhythms that I would use in this tune. This is the biggest thing I do. I probably do some variations where maybe even changing melody notes to help me change rhythm. I guess that's one thing I do is I'll make instead of, so that's I'm still sort of keeping the same groove of the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, but I'm making the 1, 2, 3s one long bow. I'll just play the B part so you see how and hear how it fits in there. So you have that, again, that long, long, which is the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, etc. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. So again, evening out at the ending. A lot more. Let me think. I said I was going to start with jigs. I put it right into reels. Let me see if I can come up with something where I use that 1 down, 3 up pattern. Let's see. Not really there totally. That's more back and forth. Let's see, what are more reels that I play? Probably Irishy ones, which is where I didn't do this the most. It's something that's kind of common would be nice too. That's not common. do it in there. Yeah, so you could do it there if you're accenting the beats. This is the silver spear. Problem being that I wouldn't play it like that. I tend to, when I use this pattern, use it to accent the offbeat after the beginning of a phrase. So I would start the phrase on a down bow with an accent, and then I end up switching my bowing around, so I've got down bows on the offbeats instead of on the downbeats, which I might do in this tune. It's just a little harder for practicing. So I am using it naturally there, and that is still accenting the beat. I'm doing it a little differently. So let's just look at this. It's just in one little spot, and sometimes that makes it easier to practice because it's like one place and you can kind of focus and get ready for it, as opposed to trying to do something through a whole tune. So the one thing that may make this weird is when I play triplets, which are the fast little crunchy bits. I play them starting on a down bow, which is not typical for a lot of fiddlers. I play them starting on an up bow. Most fiddlers tend to play them on a down bow when they're in this position, or all the time. I play them on a down bow, but only if it's right on the start of a measure, right on the beat. Whereas if they're on the off beat, like in this tune, the beat is, and then I play. So I slur those notes down bow. So I have the up bow for my triplet. More typically, people play separate down bow triplet and then slur down into the next note after the last down bow. So of the triplet. So the triplet for most people goes down, up, down, and then continues down in the next note. For me, I play first two connected and then up, down, up. And I'm not the only one who does this, but I would say it's more common when I've taken surveys, which I've done. It's more common for people to use the down bow triplet, which has the convenience of working in every position. To me, the up bow triplet doesn't work in a tune. One that always comes to mind is Brenda Stubbert's, which starts right out with a triplet. So for that, I do down, up, down. But anyways, back to the silver spear. However you're doing it, oh, that's where it is later. If you get to the next measure, that's where I'm putting in the big long down bow and then 3 up. And then just back and forth. So I'm doing, my bowing is down, down, up, down, up, down, up, big down bow, 3 up, back and forth. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, big down. want to start my phrase with. Down, up, up, up. So that ending, I'm using slurs just to get my bowing where I want it. I want, in that case, I want ba, 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 ba. And again, at the end, slurring to get a down bow for the beginning of the A part again. So I'm doing down, up, slur, up, down. Yes, down, up. Played the notes wrong. That's why I couldn't think what came next. So down, up, and then back and forth. Down, up, to get me down bow from the beginning and so somebody else with the kind of down bow triplet might approach the beginning, might do the other things totally differently and might do them the same as what I was doing, but would approach the beginning probably down, up, down, and back and forth from there. I actually like the way that sounds. It's just not what I fell into as being something that made sense to me. So I'm kind of like working on it because it does this neat. The coolest thing and most helpful thing that anybody's ever told me or said to me about bowing was a workshop that a fiddler, Sam Amandon, gave at the Down East Country Dance Festival, like, I don't know, 15 years ago, something like that. And he said in this workshop to think of every back and forth stroke of your bow as being percussion, like a drum beat. And that just really stuck with me. And that's really true that every time you shift your bow, you're subtly adding a little bit of percussion to the tune. So if you bow back and forth all the time, your percussion is playing the same thing as your melody. If you add slurs in places, the melody is playing one rhythm and the percussion is playing another. So you can play with that as a fiddle player in a way that not every instrument can in quite the same way. Most instruments have some way to play with that, but not with all the same tools that we have. So I think it's pretty fun. So my way, like thinking in that theoretical mode, I actually like my way of doing triplets less, just because the rhythm's less interesting. My rhythm becomes da, ba, 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 which is fine, but not that exciting. Whereas if you're doing the down bow triplet and slurring out of the last down bow, you get da, ba, 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 which is really groovy, and I should be doing it. So it just sounds subtly different. Here's my way. It's, does the trick. And here would be the down bow triplet way. I'm also stressing that B still, even though it's the middle of my bow. So that helps. But I could stress the note after it, and that would be cool too, like I just did. And so that would be like ba 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 ba, which is really actually quite cool. I should do this more often. Totally different groove from what I'm usually doing. So this stuff is all fun to play with. And I think One of the best ways to approach it is maybe to think about what notes you want to make loud and just try to make them loud, whether you land on a down bow or an up bow. I think often that'll land you into kind of feeling where you want maybe a down bow to make something stronger, because the down bow is naturally stronger. As I was showing with the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, you can of course also make an up bow plenty strong. And it can have a crisp sound, the up bow strong, in a way that the down bow doesn't always have. And so I actually quite like that. I'm talking about jigs for a second because that sort of segues nicely. And yeah, hearing something swingier in the bowing. I think with that down bow triplet, right? Because that's like, or is that? I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but I feel like that when I was putting that down bow and then accenting the up bows afterwards, that was making it kind of swingier than, or swingy in a different way than what I usually do. Because I feel like I have some elements of, it's just like a different kind of groove. Let me just think about that for one more second then, since you asked that question. Yeah, that's like really, oh, you like my way. Well, I do too, I guess, because I keep doing it. I can't even do my way anymore. Oh, I wonder. Oh, I actually do that sometimes, which is definitely swingier, and I maybe do it a lot actually, rather than coming out with single bows. I think sometimes I come out with and slur off the up bow, which would give me that 1, 2 at the end of the measure, like in the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So maybe that's what you were hearing that was making it swingy. Oh no, I was wrong. What am I doing? Okay, so yeah, I'm slurring just longer on the up bow than I was thinking, which does give the 1, 2 at the end. So sometimes I'm doing down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Is I think maybe even what I do more of the time when I'm not trying to think about it. And that would give you, let's see, 1, 2. It's hard to do the 1, 2, 3s when you got a triplet. But I think, you know, part of what might be swingy, I mean, also, like, it could be that somebody would bow it a totally different way that was also really, you know, and the fact that because I'm trying to force myself to play ways that I don't usually, that is affecting my ability to play them well. It's really difficult to kind of like get yourself enough out of your head about the tune so you can think about what your bow's doing and play the tune, which is why I think that listening for the loud the notes that you want to make loud helps. And that can let other influences creep in too. So if you want to learn a particular style and you really want, traditional whatever bowing, either listen to a lot of that and not much else, or look up, find some transcriptions or watch some players really closely. I think my approach is a little bit more, for somebody who only listens to fiddle music, pretty much, is a little broader. And I have listened to other kinds of music a little bit, certainly influenced by music my parents listened to growing up, which wasn't always fiddle music. Maybe especially the calypso, which was my lullabies were all calypso songs. And so I feel like, that's, and that, I sang some jazz in a thing in high school. So I think I tend to put kind of a, not so much in terms melodically, but rhythmically tend to put maybe a little bit more jazz or swing influence rhythmically into tunes than more than some people, maybe. And maybe more than is traditional, though I like to look at myself in the long line of people playing this music and not thinking about how traditional they're playing and having their influences from what they've heard subtly infusing their playing and making it their own special little thing. So that's how I like to think about it. Maybe it's just saving me from watching somebody closely enough to learn a particular regional style's bowing. But jigs. So we get to them because I'm seeing it's somehow already 7:45, which is incredible. I always, for years and years and years, have said basic jig bowing is this. 6/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 1 and the 4 are strong. Bowing a strong down, 2 in place, strong up, 2 in place. My first rocking of that system was a concert that I saw of a great Irish fiddle player, Queen O'Reilly, and he bowed his jigs totally backwards from how I would do it. So instead of starting with a downbeat in the measure and having the upbeat second, he started with the upbeat, or started with the up bow on the downbeat, or the first downbeat, and a down bow on the second one, which gives a very slightly different slant to the tune. So instead of, well, let's use Connectman's Ramble since it's one of my current favorite tunes and the tune of the week here. So with exception, I'm mostly playing down, up, down, up, down. Sometimes I might play down bow on both beats. Some, there in one place I noticed I did some up bow things that I'm not sure I even usually do. I liked them. This is what happens when I think too hard about my bowing. All kinds of funny things happen. But what I saw in this concert was, rather than the strong and slightly less strong, giving a yappa-da, 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 Quivine was flipping them around and was getting yappa-da, 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 yappa-da. I'll see if I can do it. This always gives me trouble, but I'll see how far I can get. Okay, somewhere I switched, but it was right towards the end. So actually, maybe I'll try to switch. So I'll start up bow on the downbeat, first downbeat, and then I'll switch. I'll try to switch at the halfway point through the tune, through the A part. We'll see how this goes. gives this like kind of slanty lilt to the jig. I don't know what I mean by that, but that's the words that come to my mind. I like it's kind of like a backbeat sort of thing. Yep. Or no. I'm just getting myself confused here. But I think, so, you know, I think that, I wonder if that's more common in Irish playing, if there are other people who do that, or if it's kind of a Queen thing because he does some things pretty differently from other people. But I think for like contra dances, which is most of what I do, I like the way that I do it better, that it more clearly articulates, here's the beginning of the phrase, here's where you're going to start moving, here's where you're going to do this other thing, which is all really important signals for the music to be giving to the dancers. The second revolution in my jig bowing thought was that actually some of the time I don't do the down, 2 in place, up, 2 in place. But I actually make the third note of each group of 3 also bigger. So more of a down, like a half, little, half, little, which gives a yeah, ba. Let me think. It sounds a little stilted when I'm playing it so slowly, but I think I would do it potentially in that tune. As opposed to, you know, instead of having all the emphasis on the one, ba ba da ba da ba. Da ba da da ba da 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 ba da. Putting some more on the just before the ones as well. Da 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 da. Which I just realized I did like a couple of weeks ago in a lesson with one of my students. I was teaching her the thing that I always teach, and I was like, wait, stop. I think I do something else a lot of the time. Let's look at what that is. In general, for all these kinds of bowing things, one trick that I've learned that is really helpful are a couple things. One is playing just the rhythm that you're trying to play on an open string and getting the feeling in your bow and figuring out, okay, where do I need to make it long? Where am I gonna, if I keep doing this pattern, am I gonna get lost? In terms of stuck at the frog or stuck at the tip. The other great thing that I learned in a Swedish workshop from, let's remember their names now, Lydia and Andrea. Lydia Ivans and Andrea, I'm spacing on her last name right now. They do a cool, Andrea Larson, they do a cool Swedish workshop, and they came to Belfast, and a bunch of us did it. They learned, and maybe they learned this when they were in Sweden, I can't remember, turning the bow upside down, holding it upside down, and resting the stick on your fingers, and sometimes putting it up here. And sometimes I do it out in front of me, and I'll do that because you can see. But that's a good way to feel the distribution of the bow. So if you're doing like that first jig bowing I was talking about, going to the, maybe not all the way to the tip, but the full bow, and then in place, full bow, in place, full bow. In. You can feel the speed. Also, when you go that fast, you'll find that you need to press a little harder, or else you get a skating sound and you don't get good tone. So you need a stronger bow and then a lighter bow on the small ones. Ba, ba. So I'm actually pressing quite hard with my hand. Da, ba, ba, press. press, press. Let's see if I can straighten this out so you can still see my hand. I don't know if this is awkward. Then for the other jig bowing that I was just showing, it's more like, let's turn this way again so you can see the spacing. Half, little, half, half, little, half. So strong, light, strong, strong, light, strong, strong, light, strong. Yeah. Bum dum da bum ba dee dum dee da bum bum ba dee dum da dee ba ya dum da dum dum da. So you can see, I just lost track of my point, but you can see how that fits in a little bit. The other trick I learned from them was learning a tune that they were big, and I guess their teachers in Sweden were big on learning specific bowing for a tune, which is totally not my style. And so it was definitely a challenge for me. But one of the ways they did that was to have us kind of finger along with what they were playing as we were trying to learn the tune, but do our bow in our kind of elbow here underneath the fiddle, so that we could follow the bowing, but we were silent. So in jigs, I usually do, a few things. I do the back and forth, either with either one of those patterns of accenting. Sometimes I'll put 3/8 notes all in one bow, either down or up. So in this Cohen's Rambles, that would be like. So it doesn't work so well with the first notes because you got the double. You can do it with taps or flicks to separate the A's. But the most natural place, I think, is that. And so in that case, you want to prepare for that big up bow by having gone pretty far down. So I'm doing down, down, and then I've got a big up bow. So definitely using the second, back and forth emphasis pattern. That last note is quite loud, and then I suppose I could do. It was almost too quiet. So back and forth, 3 notes per bow. Sometimes you get a jig. The one that pops into my head right now is I'm kind of forgetting what that is. Not Rakes. That's Humpty Dumpty. It's got a different name. Spacing it out. Yeah, it's gonna bug me. And that's like this quarter note, 8th note pattern. And for those, I tend to do back and forth. But then this has another great thing in it with a pickup note. Oh, there's another one that I do is down, up, up. And I usually do that before a long note. Because if I played, it would be okay, back and forth. But my inclination is not to do that. And then later on, I did that bowing differently before. So that's again the down, up, up pattern. If I did those back and forth, down, up, down, and I play this up, I play the next one up as well. Oh, that was the place. I knew there. Okay, so this is a more natural example of what I wanted to show, which is a double up bow and a jig, which I do where you have a pickup note that's falling at the end of a phrase. I just played an up bow. and then my next note is an E. But I really want the F sharp, the downbeat to be a down bow. So I do, I kind of pause so it doesn't sound, so the E doesn't sound connected. It's sometimes known as like a staccato slur, where you stop the bow and then continue in the direction that you were going before. So we'll do that phrase again. Oh no, I changed it. I think that's like all or most. I'm sure there's some other weird thing that I do. But that's certainly not my kind of standard jig bowings. Either if you're thinking of 6/8 notes, down, up, down, down, or down, up, down, up, down, up, with the 2 different patterns of emphasis. Down, up, down, 3 up. Sometimes I'll do down, 3 down, 3 up, or probably 3 down, up, but somehow I don't do that one as much. Or the 1 down, 2 up, 1 down, 2 up, which I did just a single instance of in these jigs. And then when you have different rhythms, when you have quarter notes, quarter note down, 8th note up. If you have a dotted quarter, usually that works to just do it down or up. Sometimes it puts your bow in a different place, so you need to either slur the notes before it or slur notes after it to kind of get your bow back where you want it to be mostly bup, 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 bup. Other things about bowing. Oh my gosh, it's 8 o'clock. Let's see, any last things I can get? In terms of practicing all this, I think watching and trying to play along with bowing can work for some people. For me, I hear it better at this point than I can see it. I make more mistakes if I watch, and I make fewer mistakes if I listen and try to hear where notes are smoothly connected together and where they're more separate and staccato sounding. And I'm finding and also just like experiment wildly. Nobody's gonna get hurt if you play a 9-note slur. I wouldn't recommend it really as an aesthetic choice, but certainly a lot of particularly kids go through the stage of wild slurring because they've discovered that they can play fast if they play with lots of slurs. And what I'm kind of discovering about myself right now is I'm tending to do a lot of back and forth bowing. Still definitely slurring. But a lot of the tunes that I'm excited about right now, kind of New England-y tunes, a lot of them go well with a kind of chunky sound. So, one slur in that whole A part, first time through. And it just sounds really good with that sparse back and forth sound. So I'm hoping this was all helpful and interesting and useful. And I would love to talk about it too more, and maybe being able to actually see you and watch you play and things like that at your next lesson. So, and I hope you're feeling better. I trust you are by now. But thanks so much for being here in my virtual office. And I'll see you really soon. All right. Have a good night.